Good morning, Bobcats. Today is Wednesday, October 13th, 2021. So, I have a video for you guys today, and some of you may have already seen it. It's a pretty good one. It's about a little boy who has a really special friend, and it talks about how he is an individual. And remember, individuality means finding out who you are meant to be. So, let's watch that video and see what we can learn from this little boy.
My name is Cole, and over the next few minutes, I'm going to teach you that it's okay to be different. Since a young age, I've worn different colored socks and 2 different shoes. Why? Because I am unique, a standout from the crowd. I feel best when I am being me. This summer, a funny thing happened. I was in a bookstore with my mom when I realized everyone was strangely quiet. And so I did what needed to be done. I started singing. As a joke, my mom pointed to a book and said, "Hey Cole, this book is for you." I pulled it out and read the cover. Here's what it said: "You're weird." A creative journal for misfits, oddballs, and anyone else who's uniquely awesome. It's the best book ever. It tells everyone it's cool to be different. Today, I'm going to tell you about a friendship of mine that is a little different than you might expect. This is one of my best friends, Steven. He is the happiest person I know. Steven is 44 years old and has autism. Let me start by explaining how we became special friends. When my mom was just 13 years old, she was in the high school cafeteria about to have lunch with her friends. Then she passed a table of kids with special needs. Steven was a boy at that table. He shouted out, "Hey, what's your name? Come sit with me." My mom sat down, and in that moment, a special friendship began. Steven asked my mom 3 questions. He wanted to know what she was having for lunch, her phone number, and if they could be friends for 40 years. As my mom gave him her phone number and said yes, he clapped with excitement and said, "I will call you every day." Ever since that day, in 1988, he has kept his promise and called our house every single day. When I was born, Steven was a special part of our family, and I've grown up calling him Uncle Steven. Steven is included in family dinners, he comes to my soccer games, he loves watching movies with us, and every couple of weeks he has a sleepover. Steven has had autism his whole life. Autism spectrum disorder refers to a range of conditions characterized by challenges with social skills, repetitive behaviors, speech and nonverbal communications, as well as by unique strengths and differences. My friend Steven is not able to drive a car, but he is able to memorize every phone number he has ever heard. There is no cure for autism, but I think Steven is perfect the way he is. One of my favorite memories with Steven is whenever a fire truck passes us. He shouts out, "When I grow up, I want to be a fire truck." That always makes me smile. He likes the idea of being a fireman, but he loves the idea of being a fire truck. Another thing that always makes me laugh is how much he likes to eat. Have you ever met someone who can eat a steak, 8 slices of pizza, French fries, apple pie, ice cream, and they are still starving? Well, Steven eats all that almost every time we see him. Finally, one of my favorite memories with Steven is when we play hide and seek. He always hides in the closets. I love playing hide and seek with Steven. It always makes me smile. But not just me. He makes everyone smile. I don't think we need a cure for autism, just like we don't need a cure for freckles. Autism is not a disease, just like brown hair isn't a disease. You don't need to fix something that isn't broken. I look up to my Uncle Steven as he is the happiest person I know. Steven doesn't try to be like anyone else. He is exactly who he was meant to be. Imagine a world where we all live like Steven. Find out what makes you different. Don't be afraid to stand out. Wake up, jump out of bed, and be exactly who you are. We are all a little different, and that's awesome. Thank you.
Wow, that was crazy. I really loved how this little boy has found friendship and somebody that you wouldn't really think he'd be friends with. He noticed that this guy has his own individuality and he knows who he is. So my challenge to you is reach out to somebody different today. Think about what makes them special. What makes you special? For the rest of this month, work on finding out who you are meant to be and being that person. I'll see you next week, Bobcats.